Hello and welcome everyone. This is Asan Raza from Century 21 Innovative Realty. I hope you guys are all doing well and keeping safe. Today I have a very special guest on the show. We have Tony Grewal from HouseMaster Home Inspections. Hi Tony, how are you doing?
Good, Hassan. How are you doing? Keeping
I'm doing
well? Safe?
well. Yeah. Locked down and home, so keeping well.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on. Tony and I have, for those of you that don't know, we've been working together for the past almost 6 years, I think. So Tony does a lot of the home inspections for my clients. He's a phenomenal individual, great advice, great tips. And I thought I'd bring him on the show today so he can share his insight and information and also provide you some updates as to what's happening with his business and how you can still take advantage even during this pandemic. So without further ado, Tony, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions and get your insight and advice as well.
Sure.
Great. So the first question I think a lot of buyers will have in this market is, given the current circumstances, COVID-19, are home inspections still going on? How are you navigating through that process, you personally? And what are some precautions that buyers should be taking when they do ask for a home inspection? What are some tips you can provide?
Sure. Thank you, Hassan, first of all, for the kind words in your introduction. Yeah, it's a pleasure. We've been working for many years together with you and your clients. It's always a pleasure. You're a professional. I enjoy working with you. Secondly, the question, yes, that question gets asked a lot in this current circumstances from us. That's probably, I answered that a few times during a day, during phone calls and other meetings. We are, although a lot of inspection companies have closed their offices during this time, even in our company, some of our offices are closed. I thought about that, and we have a lot of people, a lot of our referral partners, our clients who depend on our services. And if they are going through their transactions during this time, I thought it's important for us to stay open to support them and during these times as well. And of course, given the situation, we do take everybody involved, whoever is involved in the transaction or present, we do take their safety and our safety into account and do the things accordingly as recommended by the health officials. So we are continuing to do the inspections, and during that time, in the past, we always used to encourage buyers to follow us on the inspections so we can explain them things. But given the current circumstances, we are recommending, first of all, we ask from the realtors to talk to the listing side people, that the current owners or current homeowners, or if somebody is a tenant property, that they not be home during the inspection for everyone's safety. Secondly, the buyers, we used to encourage them to join us. Now we are saying, if you don't have to, it's better if you're not there. We do the inspection, we send you the report, and then we can discuss the report with you over the phone and answer all your questions. But in some cases, we're coming across where the buyers did not have enough time in the house when they went to see it first time and so on, or when they put the offer, they want to be there. And then we do limit that to hopefully one person, at the most two. And while they are at the inspection, they keep the social distance from us. Like if I'm on the second floor, I recommend them that they look around on the main floor and basement, and vice versa. So we're not in each other's way or near within the guidelines. And then secondly, at the end of the inspection, then we do a recap, keeping the distance in mind, wearing a mask, that we explain them our observations at the end of the inspection. Then of course send the detailed report later and still discuss as required on the phone with them. Now for ourselves and for our clients and the homeowners side of things, when I go on inspection or our team member goes on an inspection, we do wear, as we enter the home at that point, we do wear fresh shoe covers, new gloves, and a mask. And then we do carry wipes with us, and as well as hand sanitizers and so on. So we do take precautions to keep everybody safe and ourselves. Also, given the situation, we are doing more and more pre-listing inspections these days. When people are listing their home, they are getting proportionately more pre-inspections being done these days than normal times, which is if somebody is thinking of listing a home, and you're familiar with that. You do that yourself as a professional to get pre-listing inspections done. So that is there's more and more of that happening right now. Did I answer all your questions on
Yeah,
that part?
you
Do
know,
you have anything else?
that was really good. So the next question I had was in terms of just, you know, regular home maintenance. It is the springtime, right? Although we're
Mhm.
inside right now. You know, what are some things that, you know, you would just recommend for any spring maintenance, home maintenance tips right now that we can do, a regular homeowner can do while they're home in a safe
Mhm.
environment? What are some things that you would suggest?
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually a great question because it goes with the weather. Currently, we are in spring, and that is the best time for some spring maintenance. And mainly, we'll focus on the exteriors at this point. The exterior envelope that they should, every homeowner should check their roof. And when I say roof, that doesn't mean they have to go on the roof itself because that's not safe. You can take binoculars and step away from the house. Easy enough to check the roof for any missing shingles, damaged shingles, and so on. So you should look at the roof, the gutters, the downspouts, the siding, the windows, the foundation around the house. So the exterior, just to check for any missing, damaged areas on the siding, on the roof. And if they see something, then of course you call a roofer for repairs and so on, because winter can do the damage, or windstorms can do the damage these days. Also, there's another one way to check your gutters if they're high enough and you can't see, or you don't want to put a ladder up to go up. We have had some heavy rains. When it's raining, take an umbrella, walk around.
I think you're on mute, Tony. I think you're still on mute. I think Tony's on mute right now. That's there you go. I think you're on mute for the last 30 seconds.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, you did? Okay. So that's another thing, once again, just in case you didn't catch me there when the phone rang, was take an umbrella when it's raining just to see if the any gutters are overflowing. Then that gives you a sign that it needs attention. Downspouts, that they should be draining water away from the foundation. Sometimes the pieces can move or the downspout extensions can fall off and so on. So look for missing pieces, or sometimes they just move, or the slope is not correct for the splash guards and so on. So checking those things. Driveways, walkways, check those things on the outside, as well as grading and drainage around the house. That should be checked for this time. And then as you move into summer, those are the things you need to correct. Of course, while we're on the outside, you should look at the air conditioner, get it serviced so you're set for summer. Plumbing, if you have a sprinkler system, that needs to be de-winterized at this point. And of course, the outside faucets or the hose bibs are shut off for the winter. Now is the time you can open them back up and so on. So that's on the exterior. And while we're talking about the roof, there's another one way of looking at the roof is also from your attic. Every 6 months, spring and fall, you can have a look in there. Now, you never go into the attic unless there's a reason to. Otherwise, you just open the attic access hatch, put a ladder there, get a flashlight, and when you look up into the sheathing boards, you will see if there's any leakage stains or something that gives you an idea that if there's a leakage. So those are mainly your spring maintenance items that you need to be checking. And of course, if any of your clients or your listeners have any questions on this, they can always call me, 416-505-2158. And you have my information. They can always check with you, and I can answer any of maintenance questions as well for them.
Sure, and I'll be sure to include your contact info on the post as well when we post this video online. One last question. The information you just mentioned for the home maintenance tips, do you have like a concise resource or a one-pager that maybe people can, access?
Sure, I can send you something. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
I'll email or text you that information. Yeah.
Perfect.
And people can do that. Yes.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Tony. Really appreciate your time. And as this lockdown goes on, hopefully we're out of this soon. But we can get Tony back on the show later on and provide some more insight on some other topics. If you ever need your home inspection services, Tony's company is taking all the necessary measures, precautions in this environment, and you can really rely on him. He's a really reliable individual. His team is reliable, and highly recommend his services to anybody out there who's looking for a home inspection. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Hassan. Stay safe. Thank you.
You too.